And just give us a feel of how markets are trading today. Of course, there's been a lot of positive news in the market over the last few days. We've seen the market tick up significantly yesterday by 1%. What's going on right now?
Yeah, Wale, morning to you once again. And the market is looking good. The figures we are getting seem to be very, very encouraging. Right now, the market is doing 0.20 up with positive. And most of the stocks we are seeing seems to be having a very early positive showing. Stocks like First Bank, is inching up to almost 11.20. We have GTB crossing the 16 era timeline. We're having Nestle, hitting all of close to 747, and a lot of other stocks are rallying on big. The market is looking good, and that's on the strength of what we had seen in the previous 2-3 trading days.
All right. I mean, you just mentioned a few banks there, and clearly there seems to be some early buying ahead of the earnings season. Would you agree?
You're quite right on that. Next week we are very expectant about the Q2 result of most of the banks, and of course we all know that the bank seems to be the prime mover of the market in a couple of other sectors, and once these results begin to trickle in, I think the market is going to see a different flavor and direction. I think what you're seeing right now is basically the fact that people are taking positions ahead of the release of the Q2 of most of the banks.
All right, so point noted there. Okay, another point that I think is very interesting is that volumes are also increasing. Yesterday we saw turnover up about 40% to about 2.3 billion naira. Who is buying right now? A lot of people talk about foreign investors. What are you seeing on the ground?
Yeah. We cannot isolate foreign investors in what you're seeing right now in the market, because by and large, if you look at the figures that are being chumped out in the market, you realize I agree with me the fact that the results are so very fantastic. Nestles are doing great. The banking stocks, Zenith Bank, GT Bank, Diamond Banks, they're having good showing and all that. So I think by and large, you need to pull your funds where you think you're going to get a better return. And what you're seeing right now is largely the fact that we're having a mixture of both local and foreign investors coming to take positions for short time, probably, and maybe future gains as well.
All right.
Right now.
Okay, clearly one of the stocks that is yesterday definitely attracted some interest is Dangote Flour, in the light of the news around the deal they're doing with Tiger Brand, a deal that should have Tiger Brand investing as much as 63% equity into that company. How is that stock doing today?
Yeah, as expected, there seems to be renewed, excitement and bid on Dangote Flour. Don't forget that this is a stock that has an outstanding share of over 5 billion naira. And over the years, this stock has been doing remarkably well in terms of their line of business. They are one of the prime, market niche in the Nigerian flour mill industry. So I think by and large, people will be able to, realign themselves with the fact that there's a lot of value in these stocks. Right now, we have about 22 million, on bids, at 6 naira 24 kobo. And these bids you're seeing are actually diverse, arm's length bid. It's not just a one circle, one off. No, a lot of people are showing, diverse and intense interest in this stock. I think that this stock is really going to, firm up further as we go down, the rest of the week and upper week.
So we're clearly seeing the market reacting to that news, and like you mentioned, the stock is almost up 5% to 6 naira 24 kobo. Okay, let's move on to other stocks. Which other stocks are looking interesting? What kind of trends are you seeing on the floor today that you think investors should pay attention to?
Yeah, equally of importance to note is the fact that livestock, did the MOU with UAC, and that seems to be showing different interest. As we speak, livestock is on bid of well over 22 million as well on 1 naira 18 kobo. And I think it's all about the fact that UACN is trying to tap into the backward integration of their product line and see how they can move ahead. I think by and large, livestock is of interest in the market and is likely going to go places beyond what we were seeing. Of further interest to note is the fact that Owando, over the past 1 or 2, 3 years, we've seen Owando sliding very, very negatively to well below 12 naira 44 kobo, which is almost like a very new low in the history of the stock. But as we speak, the stock is doing a strong and remarkable rebound, and you know, at 15 and a fraction. You know, I think by and large, you know, like I said the last week that we had a discussion, it was purely on sentimental and emotional ground that the stock was sliding. You know, definitely sooner or later it's going to regain its place, and I think that's what we're seeing right now.
So you think that's somewhere that some people should start buying?
Oh, obviously. You know, Owando is a deeply diversified business venture with the oil and gas industry. They are into the energy and some management and all that. So you have to give it to them. You know, it's a stock you can go wrong on. You put your money there and you can go wrong on it, quite frankly, Wale.
All right, okay. Okay, so wrap it up for us. This week, what should we expect for the rest of the week? On Monday, people were a bit concerned that the market was starting the quarter on a negative note, but clearly over the last 2 days, things have turned around. How do you see the market trading up to tomorrow?
Yeah, well, today, quite frankly, we probably will see, you know, markets evening up today and probably tomorrow as well. You know, and you know, we do not expect to see remarkable, you know, changes in most of the core stocks, except for those other ones like FCMB, Diamonds, Fidelity Bank that looks, you know, trading at below their intrinsic value. For those stocks, I think there's still, you know, some leverage of movement, you know, here and there. But by and large, I think the market will just come to a bit of stability, and from next week we'll be able to see some, you know, remarkable activities, you know, here and there.
All right, Baba, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the trading day. Baba Ibrahim, Managing Director of Mainstreet Securities. After the break, we talk MPC decision in Kenya. Larry Madowo joins us for that, and he'll be discussing expectations around the MPC, and many are now talking about perhaps we would see a rate decline for the first time since January 2011. Stay tuned to Power Lunch.